Dave Whistle, chair of the Park County MAGA Republican Central Committee, refused to allow MAGA Republican candidates for District 1 and 2 Commissioner to participate in League of Women Voters candidate forums. Consequently, instead of seeing the MAGA Republican and Democratic candidates head-to-head at the same time and placed to discuss the issues, the two political parties held their own forums. Citizens were denied the opportunity to compare and contrast the candidates in traditional debate forum presentations. The following provides a side-by-side comparison of opposing candidates using video of separate single-party forums presented by MAGA Republicans and Democrats. The video is separated into candidate responses to the same or very similar topics.
First of all, budget. I mean, that is our primary statutory duty, and so we have to be able to receive the information from all the departments, all the elected officials, parse through all of their asks, and determine, first of all, if we have the money, look at the big picture, and then whittle down and parse it out to see where all the funds are going to be allocated. And so you've got to have the ability to ask the tough questions of the department heads to make sure that they really understand, do they need it or not? Is this a need or is it a want? And some of those are that type of budgetary ability is really important. The next one is, I believe that you need to like people and really want to help people. And it goes into that communication. You've got to be able to listen. And I truly believe in my heart that I like people and I want to hear what they have to say because I want to help. And that probably comes, my mom was a nurse and she was a caretaker, and I guess that passed down to me. But I have an affinity to help people's life be better. And I think that, at least for me, that makes me an effective commissioner. And the last one is, you do have to be able to get along with everyone and communicate with everyone, even if you don't like them. Because we are all different human beings. And it's our responsibility as the steering wheel for the county to respect everyone and to work hard to see their perspective and understand their ask, and then take that all into consideration when making decisions on behalf of everyone who lives here. And so I think that servant heart and a public servant heart is what's the most critical for a commissioner.
Listening is number one, because as the commissioners, we are the leaders of the county, right? So we have to listen to everyone, no matter their political persuasion, stripe, whatever. We need to hear from everybody, and I want to be out in the community. Second is, we need to build relationships. We need to build relationships with the county manager, the employees, the people in the county. We also, as commissioners, we are the ambassadors at the state level and also at the federal level. So we need to make sure that we are, when I first moved to Park County, it didn't take me long to realize that the state legislature does not care a lot about rural, and they pass a lot of laws that impact us in a negative manner. So it's our job to be down at the State House between January and May, when they're in session, taking our issues that can be addressed by the state to the state. I spoke with Julie McCluskey after the special 4-day session about property taxes, and I asked her how many of our commissioners called her, and 0 called her. So no one called her, and property taxes are the backbone of the finances of our county. After building relationships, it's collaboration like Jack talked about, but we also need to make sure that we know how to make the hard decisions, right? So when we make a decision that you may not like, I want to be able to fully explain to you or have you understand why we made that decision. So there's no willy-nilly, we will make the decisions based upon input from you guys.
Number one skill I would say that is needed for a commissioner is the ability to communicate, to talk to the other two commissioners, have those debates and those understandings in the private realm, and as well as have that ability to communicate with each other to make decisions that are best for the county. That is a very important subject. You're not always going to see eye to eye. Matter of fact, you may not see eye to eye hardly at all. But to be able to have that communication and get your ideas properly presented is very important. Other skills that are quite literally very, very important is the ability to be open and willing to listen to the party and where they're at. And try to understand the reasons of their opinions on whatever issue or item it is of the day. And listen, not just listen to rebuttal or listen to make an argument, but try to listen from their point of view, from their shoes, the best you possibly can. That's a very important issue that I think a county commissioner really has to have. Lastly would be understanding financial responsibilities and what is responsible. What is within our purview to even do is very, very important. So those are the top 3 issues in my opinion.
There's a lot of skills that I think a leader, and the commissioner is a leader of the county, has to have. And in my opinion, the top 3 is the ability to listen. Keep mouth shut, ears open. Stephen Covey, anybody heard of that gentleman? 7 habits of highly effective people. Habit number 5 is seek first to understand before you seek to be understood. I have lived that philosophy as well as I can for the past 45 years as a leader and a manager. That means you listen to what the other person has to say, regardless of where they're coming from, and you want to understand where they're coming from, what they say. And then you put out what you're trying to say. Well, right now, what I'm trying to do in these forums, as well as out talking to folks in the counties, I'm really just trying to listen right now to hear what the priorities are. The second skill is collaboration. This is not a one-man band. I can't do this by myself. I have to collaborate with the other commissioners, and I have to collaborate with you, my neighbors and citizens of this county. Okay? And the third one, there's a bunch out there, but I'm going to say this one. It's being able to manage folks. And you manage folks by, again, understanding their situations, where they're coming from, and helping them understand that they are valued. And that's what I'll do as a commissioner.